All right, now we're going to move on to exports. And this is the last section under applications. So, like I said, the purpose of exports is so that you can take data that is within ERAS and get it out of ERAS for whatever reason. Like getting things into Excel so you can manipulate the data, mail merges, and uploads to outside software. Before you go to export, you need to make sure your filters are applied in the way of the type of data you want to export. So say you're just exporting, you just want like information on the people that have confirmed to come and interview. So you want to make sure you apply that filter. Otherwise, you're going to get everybody that's applied and you're going to go, what did I do? And then you have to rerun it. It's okay to rerun it. You can run that thing as many times as you want. There are some templates that ERAS has made available, and you can save these for future usage. And they do save across recruitment years. The filters do too. I forgot to say that. I think the I think the exports save across the program, so somebody else can access it. Meaning that like if you make it, you used it for years, now you moved on to another program, and someone's moved into that job now, you should have access to what they created as part of your program. Okay, to create it, you're going to go to the Exports tab under the Applications, add new export template, name it, and then like kind of like we did before. So down here's what it looks like after you do all that. You name it right here, and then you have to pick which data fields you want in there. So it defaults to personal because that's usually most often what people are going to pick. And then there's so much, and all these data fields are found at some place, just that little small unassuming personal tab. Look how much data I can pull from it. So, so then once you pick a field that you like want on your report, then you click the little arrow over button and I'll throw it over here. So everything that's on this field right here is going to show up on your export. A little extra note, little pro tip. See how it says applicant name? You'll be like, oh, I'm so tempted to put applicant name right on over there. But especially if you're doing this for outside softwares, don't use that field. There's a field called first name, and there's a second field called last name. I recommend you do that because then your sorting that you can do, especially in the softwares, works better. This just makes it one whole field. What did I say? Oh yeah, I do want to say something about like kind of reasons you would export beyond the software stuff. For me, what I did, and for any of the coordinators out there that have been in administrative fields for any more than I think 10 years for sure, no mail merges. Mail merges can really save your life. And especially in something like this. So you can like, so what a mail merge is in its most simplest form of why it was created was so that like you needed to send a letter out to a mass group of people, and you don't want to have to like retype their name on the head of every letter, on letterhead, on the address head of every letter. So you so what you do is you create what's called a mail merge, which is a feature within Word that you can set up the document with the specific information in there so it looks personalized, and then have the body of the email in there. And then you connect the data source, and then you click mail merge, and then it creates all of your letters and envelopes if you need, or whatever, labels, whatever, for you, which is nice. You can use it for literally anything you can make in Word, like anything at all. I use it for labels, obviously, but I use it a lot for recruitment. So when you're sitting there and you're preparing all those documents, so you're preparing your itinerary, you're preparing your score sheet, and then when they're coming in person, their name tags, you can set up each of these documents to have like the mail merge data field in there, because you're getting the data from here. So you can export as a data, and you can figure out which data fields you need, like their name, their medical school, their residency, and if you want visa information, whatever you want on these documents. So you don't have to like, even if you only have 10 candidates, you're like, is it even worth it for 10 candidates? Yes, it is, because you're typing it over 3 documents, like there's 30 things that are happening here. So yes, it is. So like once you set that up and you set up your document, then you just click mail merge and you don't have to type those 10 names on that document, 10 names on that document, and 10 names on that document. So if you do not know how to mail merge, reach out to any of your friends, but you can like look it on YouTube. Find anything on YouTube. All right. So now you've got all your data fields over here. You can pick between different categories from the drop-down list. There are a couple of things you can do. You can just run it if you want. You can save and run it, and like filters you can edit and things like that. When you like have saved it and you're like, it's not quite right, I want to adjust it, you can edit it. You can do that here too. If you save and run the first time you run it, and it's going to save it under this name, and then you decide later on that like, it's not quite right, or you did something, you forgot a field, or maybe a field too extra, you can go in and open that and it'll like put everything in there for you, and then you can make your adjustments, and then you can say save it again, like overwrite that original save, or you can save as a new one because you're like, I don't know if this is the right one, and then you can have several different versions. Then once you run it, you'll get a little message that says it's been sent to the bulk print request, and then we'll again talk about that at the end of how you access that.